the key. I can do it.
Over the last 3 years, I've become really attuned to reading my own energy and being honest about true intentions behind any of my behaviors or actions. I also feel this with tuning into myself. It has also allowed me to open this gift of reading other people's energy and seeing their true intentions behind their actions and behaviors. Now, we liked all of that, but we want to really emphasize something with you. If you've been listening to us for a while, you've heard us talking about step 1 is where you ask. And that's because contrast is often helping you know what you don't want, and so you're asking. And often when you're asking, it's not feeling all that good because you know what you don't want, so you're asking for what you do want. Step 2 is source is answering. That's not your work. And step 3 is you're reaching for the feeling, something that feels good, that puts you in the receiving mode of what you're asking for. This moving up this emotional scale is all about that. Step 4 is you're good at that. And you might be good at it because you've been practicing moving up the emotional scale. Step 5 is you are able to, as this person said, observe someone in a lower vibration, which is what your inner being does all the time if you're not up to speed with where your inner being is, without it causing a hit on your energy. In other words, your inner being does not suffer when your inner being is aware that you are suffering. Because your inner being maintains high, pure, replenished vibration all the time. So it's good. When you're a teacher that has practiced this high-flying emotion and you sustain it mostly, then being able to read where others are and call them upward is a very effective tool for a teacher or a therapist. As of late, I've found myself getting frustrated when people who are close to me are refusing to look at their behaviors and actions to take responsibility for the real, true intent behind their actions, and seem to rather make surface level excuses and deflections. So now see what happened here. You are a teacher and you're mostly up there in those higher vibrations, and you're often inner being like, where you are not called down the scale by someone. So why would someone be able to call you down the scale? Why would you feel frustration? Frustration's not far down. It's not even halfway down. It's at 10. Why would someone be able to get your goat? It's because you do have some of that vibration still stuck in your vibrational craw. And this person is giving you the gift of being somewhere around something below that, usually quite a bit below that in the example that you're giving. If someone's not owning up to something, if they're faking something, if they're pretending something, if they're lying to you, if they are deceiving deliberately, or sometimes even deceiving indeliberately, they are in insecurity. They're way down the emotional scale. Well, you didn't go all the way. You didn't say, why is it that I feel insecure when I'm around someone who's not owning it? You said, I feel frustration. That's good for you. It's a good sign for you. But the fact that you feel frustration means you have some opportunities to clean up some vibrations, yes? So if we were standing in your physical shoes, we wouldn't go all the way to insecurity, which is where your friend is, not right now. We would start with frustration. I am frustrated when people who are close to me are refusing to look at their behaviors. So let's start at frustration. I'm frustrated that they refuse to look. Pessimistic is the next notch up. I doubt they ever will. I've been teaching them for long enough. It's not likely that they're going to make it. We know this doesn't sound like it's positive work, but it is. It is. Boredom's the next step up. I am bored with people who are not even making an effort. I'm bored. I'm bored with this. I'd like to just let it all go. I'm tired of fussing around with this. There's nothing serious going on. I'm bored. Even if you don't think the words took you there, a sentence or two will improve it. You don't have to stay there till you feel improvement. Just stay there for a sentence or two and move up. Next emotion up is contentment. I like that I'm aware of my emotions. And I like that I am owning my emotions more. And I like that everybody else doesn't have to do it in order for me to feel better. Move up. Hopeful. I'm hopeful that as I am learning about emotions and I'm finding more replenishment, that others who hang around with me, even those whom I'm teaching, will find it too. Move up a notch. Optimism. I know they can do it. Took me a while. Takes everybody a while. We're all in different places, having different experiences. I don't know how life is touching them, but I know that they want to feel better. And I know that their inner being is calling them upward. And I believe that their association with me in combination with their inner being, who's always calling them upward, is going to help them. I have absolute expectation, not up a notch, positive expectation and belief. I believe they can do this. I have every reason to expect that they're going to find that. Enthusiasm. This is so much fun. I have loved knowing it myself. I love it every time I do it. Eagerness, happiness is right there in that same place. I am passionate, next notch up, passionate about my discovery of how to maintain my vibrational balance. Move up a notch. I love knowing this. I'm joyful in knowing this. I feel enthusiasm and absolute empowerment, freedom. I am free. I love my life. I love knowing this. I have such appreciation for this knowledge and for my life and for them helping me to know that I had some residual stuff about frustration going on. You see how it works? This person went on. I'm getting really frustrated when people are close to me. You heard all of that. Then further down in, I ultimately end up taking the blame for not believing them or trusting them. Now, we didn't go there first because we just want to point out that you are a high-flying person. And then, but there's still, like with everyone, you have subjects that will activate different emotions along your emotional scale. You don't have to clean everything up all the time. But if you are cognizant, if you're aware, if you want to feel good and therefore are aware when you don't, and you're willing to identify or isolate where you stand on this emotional scale, and you're willing to take yourself up, then in the very first realization that you offered to us, frustration, you could start at a higher place and work up the scale, and before you know it, frustration would be a thing of the past with you. As you took it further, not doing that work, it's just fine, you didn't really know about it, and tried to defend maybe while you're frustrated, then you got into blame, which was much further down on the scale. You're blaming yourself, which is even further down on the scale because that's guilt for not believing them or not trusting them. Sort of getting the hang of this. There's no right or wrong in this. And no subject or issue is always every single time at the same place on an emotional scale.